Hello, I'm Matthew Barney, director of the 1979 musical film Nickelodeon, starring Lorenzo Music. Now, this video that I'm about to show you that I'm introducing is back by popular demand. I don't know why, but people really like trains, and that's okay. So, back by popular demand, here's all about fast-moving trains, which, by the way, fun fact, was the introduction to the Matthew Barney Show. Thank you. Hello, I'm Matthew Barney. And to be honest, I don't even know what I'm commentating on today. There's an FBI warning. Federal law provides severe civil and criminal penalties to the unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or exhibition of copyrighted motion pictures and videotapes. That happened in Stockholm, Sweden in 1977. I'm not exactly sure what went down there in 1977, but I'm assuming it was some sort of capitalist pigs flopping around in their own filth. Oh my, a train. My train video. Okay. It looks like I'm commentating on my train video today. Have I mentioned that I'm the director of the Cremaster Cycle, River of Fundament, and my greatest exhibit, real-life construction equipment for kids, featuring Hard Hat Harry? You got really mad at me for that one, and I am just so pleased with myself. I'm sitting here, gently rubbing my nipples, my voice smooth as quicksilver, and you don't even know how happy I am that I am making you angry with Hard Hat Harry. Yes, you come and say, how dare this man commentate over the great Hard Hat Harry? How dare he say anything bad about Anthony Paul, the greatest actor of all time, who also portrayed Hard Hat Harry? How dare he say that those children were little people? Well, let me tell you, they were little people. They were very little people. And little people are treated littly. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is all about. I'm assuming it has something to do with locomotion, but we're going to watch it and find out together. Now that's a trolley, as you can see, not a train. There's a distinct difference. Oh my, a model train. So we're dealing with all kinds of trains. You know, in my youth I had a train set, and I would often make the trains go towards each other and crash into each other in a spectacular bloodbath extraordinaire. Of course, that was when I was a child. I went through a lot of model trains as a kid. Engineer Gus and Engineer Sam. And oh my, Sam, blowing on that wooden whistle. Who knows what he's gonna get up to in my train video. I don't know. Let's watch and find out, shall we? Now, the engine has a Western Maryland name brand on its tender, so one can only assume that this was filmed in Maryland. Where in Maryland? I don't know. I'm going to assume Ocean City, Maryland, because that's the only place I know of in Maryland right now. I mean, I've never been to Maryland, so I can't say anything good or bad about it. I did pass through it once on my way to Florida, but I did not stop, and I kept my foot fully on the gas pedal the entire time. Anyway, as you can see, steam is pouring out of the engine. The engineers are dressed in jeans and t-shirts, as opposed to the old-timey clothes of the engineers past. And that's okay. Steam is billowing out of the whistle. The boilers are boiling, and I'm going to see if they can get this baby up to 88 miles per hour. I would not want to put my arm in there. I definitely would not, because even if the train is off, even if it is fully disengaged from its locomotion, if you will, there is the distinct possibility that the brakes could come loose and that train would start rolling forward, and his arm would just be sucked in there like like the vacuum of space, and it would just be gone, and blood would run everywhere down the screen, and he would defecate in his pants, and it would be a sea of brown and red. And that's if I had made this video, which I did not. I had nothing to do with this. I am only doing this video today. I am only commentating on it because I am bored, and all day I have watched my stocks fall, and it's getting worse. Now, the Patreon account, I initially asked for $2.3 billion, and some of you suggested that maybe that was a little much. So I'm going to downsize the number just a bit to $2.1 billion. I think we can reach that if we all work real hard. And that's okay. That's all we really need. The extra $0.2 billion, maybe not as important. And that's okay. That's fine. Now the train is in motion, and I'm sure that Kurt Cobain is thinking to himself up in heaven, or down in the depths of hell where I like to believe he is, that he could lay his head down on the railroad track and commit suicide yet again because he is such a freaking loser. Damn you, Kurt Cobain. Your music sucked. You suck. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Now they're shoveling the fire, or shoveling coal into the fire, as you can see. I don't know why they have to do it quite so many times, but that's okay. That's fine. And this gentleman, of course, is dressed in more traditional engineer garb, in which I assume he is living the part. He is a method actor, if you will. He is the kind of gentleman who says, I'm going to get up this morning, and I'm going to ride this train. I'm going to drive this crazy train all the way to Funky Town. And that's okay. Now, I'm really not sure where this is. I don't even know where this video came from. I found it in a stack of videotapes, and John Leguizamo was kind enough to edit it down to a reasonable length so that I may not have to record quite so much. Usually my videos go on for 45 minutes, maybe an hour, but today I just wanted to do something special before I have my nightcap of 6 16-ounce cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon. The best beer in the world. It is the best beer in the world, let's face it. There is no better beer than Pabst Blue Ribbon. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. You're just wrong. Simply incorrect. There is no better beer than Pabst Blue Ribbon. And that's okay. Oh, you may argue with me. You may say Miller Lite or Budweiser, the king of beers. And to that I say, you're wrong. You're all wrong. Now the train is pulling into the station, where it will pick up many passengers to go along their merry way, only to go back the same way to drop the passengers back off at the parking lot of this exhibit. It's not an exhibit in the same way I make exhibits, it's just a literal exhibit. You see, I use the word exhibit in a very broad sense. You know, I say to myself, oh, the exhibits that I make are exhibits at a museum. Well, this is an exhibit at some sort of train station somewhere in Maryland. And they go on the ride, they take the ride, sitting in the uncomfortable chairs on the train, and they ride back and forth, usually through Amish country. Like, I don't know anything about trains, honestly, and as I understand, many of my fans are fans of trains, and that's okay. That's great, in fact. I would like to understand trains better. That's partially why I'm watching this video. So this train is either going to push forward the cars in front of it or pull them going in reverse. I don't know if a train can go quicker in reverse or as quick as it can going forward, but we're sure to find out, aren't we? So much steam. Reminds me of the steam that came off the River of Feces in River of Fundament that Norman Mailer III crawled through to come to his new life in the next realm of the Egyptian realm of the dead. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful feces. And now the train is moving backwards. It is going to pull backwards. Which leads me to ask myself, can the train go as fast backwards as it can going forwards? I don't know. I don't think anyone knows, except for the engineers. Would the DeLorean have been able to have been pulled up to 88 miles per hour, is my question. My questions mainly relate to Back to the Future Part 3 when it comes to trains. I say to myself, could this locomotive make it up to 90 miles per hour? Could it do it backwards? Could it do it with going up a hill or going down a hill? Would going down a hill benefit it more in going faster? I don't know. I do know that some old trains had wooden brakes and that they would catch fire, and that was not good, so they switched to metal brakes, which seems like it would have been sensible to do in the first place. I learned that from Thomas the Tank Engine when Little Bjork was watching it, when I still had Little Bjork, when I still had Bjork, before I left Brock, before my life came crumbling to what it is now. But that's okay. So this gentleman can ride the model train. That's interesting. I never had a model train that I could ride as a child. I suppose it's because my father didn't love me enough. My father was a bastard. Barney was his name. 2 Barneys in a row. His middle name, of course, was Ismiths. And my middle name is Horatio Alger. So, as I was saying, this fellow can ride a model train. I never had that as a child, but I do now. And I'm quite happy with it. I'm quite happy indeed. Me, John Leguizamo, and Kurt Russell often sit on the train 3 in a row and ride it until the sun sets. And Kurt said that if I lose my Chrysler Building apartment, I can move into his place, and I can bring my model trains with me, and we can ride them until our heart's content. Now, I appear to be viewing some sort of model parade at the moment. I'm not sure what that's all about, but it reminds me of Bjork, Little Bjork, that is, not Bjork Jr. Of course, you don't name a female child Junior, which would be silly. So anyway, when Bjork and I were dating, we were coming up with names for Little Bjork, and I was thinking something along the lines of Matthew Barney, or Matitha, or something with an M that was derivative of Matthew, but I don't believe there is a feminine pronoun for Matthew, and that left me feeling kind of sad. But that's okay. For 9 months, I attempted to make up my own feminine pronoun.